Hey guys, I put out a poll yesterday asking which FX30 video that you would like to see next, and a majority of you chose the best zoom lens for the FX30. So today I have my favorite APS-C zoom lens, the Sigma 18-50mm f2.8. When I was researching what lens to pair with my FX30, I knew that it had to be a zoom lens. I need that type of versatility for wedding filmmaking. I knew that it had to be wide enough for tighter spaces, and I knew that it had to zoom in far enough to capture my subject from a far distance. I also needed at least f2.8 so that it would do well in low light and create nice bokeh. I found that the Sigma 18-50mm seemed to fit the requirements that I had, and after using this lens for quite a while, I can confidently say that this is the best zoom lens for the Sony FX30. I've also already made a video about the best zoom lens on the telephoto side for this camera. Make sure to check out that video as well. But my name is Jonah August. I'm a wedding filmmaker based in Canada, and I'm happy that you're here. This will be a relatively quick video. I don't want to spend too much time on things that aren't that important, so let's jump right into this. First, talking about the build quality, this small lens is built quite well. As you see, this lens is tiny. It's 2.4 by 3 inches in size and weighs only 290 grams. The zoom and focus rings have a nice amount of resistance and feel really good in hand. Now the Sigma 18-50mm is weather resistant to some extent and should do all right in some rainy and dusty conditions. Mainly the gasket is sealed against moisture and dust. I have used this lens in rainy conditions and I had no issues with it, but I wouldn't suggest pushing this too far. It has a filter thread size of 55mm to mount on any filter that you like. Now the image quality is superb. I'm super happy with how it performs. I've made quite a few test videos with it and I really like how they've turned out. The autofocus is pretty much perfect. Even though this isn't a Sony lens, paired with the FX30's autofocus capabilities, this lens nails focus almost all the time. I actually have yet to experience a scenario where the autofocus was off. This lens has an aperture range of f2.8 to 22, which gives you the ability to film in low light and creates nice, beautiful looking bokeh. Take a look at the bokeh in some of these shots. This lens is actually extremely sharp. For some of you, that'll be a really good thing. For myself personally, I like to have a little bit of a softer image, so I usually mount a mist filter onto this lens to take off that digital edge and produce a more filmic look. I'll link the Pro Mist filter that I use in the description below. One gripe that people may have with this lens is that it's not optically stabilized. Sure, it'd be really nice to have it, but the way I film, I usually just turn on active stabilization, and that helps smooth things out when filming handheld. If you are worried about it, you can throw this lightweight setup on a gimbal, no problem. Now, I don't think people are using this lens for manual focus. I don't that often myself. It is all right for manual focusing, but the focus ring is so tiny. I also wish that the zoom and focus ring were swapped like it is on my Tamron 35-150mm, but if you do plan on manual focusing with this lens, it will do the job. So can you vlog with this lens? If you are a vlogger, this lens does a pretty good job. At 18mm, it is wide enough, but I think that's because I have long arms. If you need extra bit of reach, just attach a vlogging pod to it. The best thing about this lens is the price. It costs only $500 US. The closest full frame equivalent, the Sigma 24-70mm, cost $1,050 US. This lens is less than half the cost of that one. So who is this lens for? If you need a versatile, small, lightweight setup, this lens is perfect for you. I find that it works really well for wedding and travel videography. You can use this lens in pretty much any type of videography, but it really shines in those two areas. Well, that is everything for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other FX30 videos you want to see in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.